If you're thinking about getting a Maltipoo, stop and watch this video first. I love my little fluff ball, but there are a few things I wish I knew before I brought him home. And spoiler alert, no regrets. Maltipoos are high maintenance, but the huge pro is that they do not shed. I did not know this when I got Henry, and it was a great surprise. So no more dog hair everywhere, and you can wear black. Henry gets haircuts every 8 weeks. Right now, this is a fresh haircut. He had one about a week ago. So every 8 weeks, that can get a little pricey because of each session it's about $8 to $100. So be prepared for that expense. During COVID, I tried to groom him myself to give him a haircut, and it was a disaster. So I would not recommend it. But if you feel adventurous, I do have a few things that would help you. I can recommend. I'll link them in descriptions below. The first grooming experience was pretty crazy because I was not used to it. And when I went to pick him up, Henry looked like a completely different dog. It was quite a transformation. So that was definitely something I was not prepared for. Between their grooming appointments, they do need baths because they get dirty. They're so small and close to the ground. And also their fur is not like a regular dog hair. It's almost like human hair. So it just has a little different consistency. So they definitely need to be washed. And plus Henry being a white dog, it's like walking in your white socks on the street. So sometimes he just gets half baths, just his paws and his belly. Baths are definitely a must. Well, as far as the hair, their hair grows really fast. So that's another reason why you just cannot skip the haircuts. Their hair gets too long, they get matted, and it's really uncomfortable, and if it just keeps growing. So number one, grooming is not optional, and this fluffy coat does take some work. And of course, brushing. Oh, skipping to number 5, they bark. They do bark. Moving on. One more thing about grooming. They tend to have tear stains, and I think it's a problem with all white dogs that their tears just stain their fur under their eyes and sometimes around their mouth. I actually have another whole video about that I will link. It's all about how to deal with tear stains because that's a big problem. They get attached very quickly. They love to be with their people 24/7, and they don't do well on their own. If you get a Maltipoo, you get 24/7 companion who will follow you around the house and just gonna be your shadow. So if your obligation takes you away from home for 8-10 hours a day on a regular basis, you might reconsider. I never had issues with Henry as far as being destructive, but I do work at home, so when I leave him, it's only for a few hours. And one thing I use is puzzle toys. So I would set him up with a puzzle toy. It'll keep him occupied, and he's happy. Maltipoos are just super, super social, so they're ideal for someone who works at home or is retired, or for a family where there is several members and someone's always home. And on that note, Henry's really good with kids. Maltipoos love kids. Maltipoos are so playful, so they love to run around and hang out with children. We're moving right on to number 3. They are definitely 100% lab dogs and companion dogs, but they do get their zoomies and they do have lots of energy. I take Henry for 2 walks a day. One is about an hour, and then the other one maybe 40 to 30 minutes. You could probably get away with not going for that long. They're not super athletic. So when you get a Maltipoo, you're definitely not getting a running buddy. And I used to have Lab, so my dog Maya, she would just walk and walk and walk. So one thing I didn't expect is less walks because I really like to walk. But with Maltipoo, they're just small and they actually do prefer couch even though they need exercise. So again, hour is a max, maybe hour and a half. And also, I did take him on a hike once, and it was not a great idea. I had to I ended up carrying him. So not big hikers. So if you're very athletic, might not be a good match. I just did not expect that because, as I said, my previous dog, she would want to walk 24/7. But they sure get their zoomies, especially after bath. After bath zoomies, craziness. Number 4, they are super smart. They are fast learners and they're really easy to train. Now with Henry, he loves to learn new tricks, which we will be sharing some of his tricks here on this channel. And also he loves the camera. So when I first got him, I had a dog clothing company and he immediately became the model. And he did so well. He's not afraid of camera. He looks right in and yeah, I think he really loves it. If you want to start your multiple social media account, go for it because they are gonna love it. Now, we did touch on barking. Henry demonstrated live what it's like when Maltipoos bark. And if there was one huge surprise, that was that. Because when I first got him, he was very quiet. But then the first time, after maybe a couple days, I heard him bark. It was quite shocking because their bark is high pitched, piercing, and it's pretty intense. And that's one thing we're still working on. So if you have any suggestions for me and Henry, please drop them in comments because barking is something we have not mastered. Now, the pro of that is that nobody is sneaking into your house unannounced because nobody gets past Henry and he sounds alarm always. And I have to say that he doesn't bark for no reason. It's just he barks when someone comes in, he barks sometimes on the street if he gets scared. It's usually if, let's say, we walk and some strange man approaches me or big dog comes out of the nowhere. But it's mostly when people come in. So it's not like they are one of those dogs that just bark, bark, bark all the time. Like on Kilo. There you have it. I might silence it. We'll see. Now, one little thing is that I did not expect was obviously they're super cute. So you almost feel like, if they jump on someone who comes over, it's not a big deal. But it kind of actually is. So they do need to be trained. But you have the tendency of not training them because, you can pick them up and they're small. If they jump on your guest, they're not going to knock them over like if you had a German Shepherd. But please train them. Well-behaved dog is well-behaved dog, no matter the size. Maltipoos are amazing, but not effortless. So If you want to experience unconditional love, some grooming bill meltdowns, a lot of cuteness, then I say Maltipoos are right for you. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos about Maltipoo lifestyle.